would have discussed the implications of each marga for human and spiritual evolution. Friends, in the year 1900, Swamiji was on one of his visits to the United States of America. By then, the Vedanta Society of New York was well established. It occupied a modest house on the 58th Street. One day, a printer arrived and spoke to Swamiji. Swamiji was having breakfast, and he asked him that he was making a circular, and he wanted to have an emblem on the circular. So he asked Swamiji for his advice and his suggestions. What would be the best emblem for the Vedanta Society? Swamiji looked around and found an envelope which had just come. He tore open the envelope, flipped to the other side, and immediately started drawing. He drew waves, a swan, a lotus, and the sun, all circled by a serpent. This, he said, were the 4 yogas wrapped by eternity. And then he asked the printer, Mr. Henry Van Hagen, to convert the rough sketch into a finished drawing. Later on, when he went back to India, when he returned to India in the year 1901, he explained the significance of the emblem of the Vedanta Society to the noted artist, Ranada Prasad Das Gupta, the founder and professor of the Jubilee Art Academy in Calcutta. He said, the wavy waters in the picture are symbolic of karma. The lotus symbolizes bhakti. The rising sun symbolizes jnana. And the encircling serpent is indicative of yoga and of the awakened Kundalini Shakti. While the swan in the picture, he said, stands for the Paramatma, the Supreme Self. Therefore, he said that the idea of the picture is that by the union of karma, jnana, bhakti and yoga, the vision of the Paramatma is obtained. Friends, we all know Karma Yoga is the art of remaining detached, unaffected by the results of our action, both good and bad. As Swamiji counseled, do not fly away from the wheels of the world machine, but remain inside it and learn the secret of work. Bhakti, of course, needs no elucidation. It's a love for God, which is its own greatest reward. It's not a means to an end, but an end in itself. Knowledge is like light. It dispels darkness, reveals the truth. It's a process of uncovering the inherent self in each one of us by purification of the mind and negation of ignorance. Kundalini is our latent spiritual power, which is awakened when we lead lives of self-denial, service, and prayer. As the Swami rightly counseled, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali help us to systematically channelize this power and control our mind through meditation and concentration, so that we can cease to identify ourselves with this mind-body complex that we have to grapple with. This is the Raja Yoga, as some would term it, the science of spirituality. The swan, what we call as the Hamsa, symbolizes the ultimate reality because it can discriminate between water, representing what is unreal, from milk, what is real. That is why the Upanishads speak of the Hamsa Gayatri. Om Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe Paramahamsaya Dhimahi Tanno Hamsa Prachodayat. May we know the light of lights. For that we meditate on the Supreme Light. May the Divine Light impel us towards it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Swami Vivekananda put into his writings and speeches and practiced what his master Ramakrishna Paramahamsa experienced as his own ability to achieve salvation through pursuing the various margas of Tantra, of Jnana, of Bhakti and Karma, and by scrupulously practicing various religious faiths, including Christianity and Islam. It remains a holistic approach to spirituality, where every aspect of life and every aspect of human inclination is fully covered. I think one of the things that drew Swami Vivekananda to Ramakrishna was the fact that he had met various saints and seers in his life, and he always asked one question: have you seen God? Until he met Ramakrishna, nobody could give him an affirmative answer. When he asked Ramakrishna whether he had seen God, he said, every day. At which point he said, you are my master. As Swami Vivekananda used to say, if there is a God, we must see him, or in today's politically correct times, her. If there is a soul, we must perceive it. I hope today's conference would propel at least some of the participants, the youth who took part in it, to a more holistic understanding of how to see God and perceive the soul while still living in this world, as many of us do in the Grihastha Ashram. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you very much. Now I would like to introduce Manya Soumitra Gokhaleji. Soumitraji completed his masters in Canada and became a full-time pracharak in 1995. So for over 15 years, Soumitraji has dedicated serving the Hindu society. He has visited over 30 countries and worked with different Hindu organizations. Soumitraji has vast experience, and I would like to use this opportunity to request Soumitraji to say a few words from his experience with us. Soumitra.
Honorable Consul General, Mananiya Rameshji, Mananiya Subhashji, Shri Amitji, Shri Sharadji, and my dear sisters and brothers, you have been part of the 4 parallel tracks that went on. I was part of one of them, and I think even in Jnana Yoga we had a lot of good participation. Usually when it is Jnana Yoga, people may think that it must have been quite boring or anything, but I tell you it was absolutely not boring. It was very lively discussion, and I'm sure in the other tracks also there have been as lively interactions, discussions, and little more understanding. This Dharma and Yoga Fest, as Amit mentioned, which is happening not only in Houston but around the country, I'm going to be one lucky person where I'm going to get an opportunity to attend 8 of them out of the 30 and get to see the flavor of the same program expressed differently in various cities. I think about 4 or 5 have already taken place. Today there is Dharma and Yoga Fest happening in many cities. It's a really wonderful feeling that people who believe in this path of Dharma, they may belong to a different denomination, a different sect. varying beliefs, but they have all come together on common platform, something that binds us together in spirituality, the ideas of Dharma and Yoga. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm happy to share with all of you that not only just in the United States, but worldwide. In fact, I was in the Middle East, in Sri Lanka, this year in Australia, in Indonesia, in many countries. People have come together, Hindus have come together to celebrate this 150th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda, even after 150 years, still appears to be young. He has not grown 150 years old, because what he represents is still fresh. It is still fresh in our minds. It is extremely relevant for us even today. This universal message that Swami Vivekananda has taken from country to country, the whole world is celebrating. In Sri Lanka, I was there for the inauguration program, and people came from all 25 districts of Sri Lanka. Later on, they had a year-long celebrations, and recently they concluded the program where 10,000 people came together in Colombo. One of the very senior priests in Sri Lanka, there were tears in his eyes. He mentioned that this is after decades that Hindus from each and every district of Sri Lanka has come together in this program to celebrate Swami Vivekananda. That is the power of his message, that is the power of his personality. Swami Vivekananda lives in each one of us. Whether we can arouse that Swami Vivekananda within us is the question. Dharma and Yoga Fest is nothing but an attempt to arouse that Swami Vivekananda that is within us. Because ultimately, in his own words, that we are all potentially divine, and can we all take up this mission to spread this message of universal Dharma, of this spirituality, to each and every person in this world. Because that is what he expected from us. This 150th birth anniversary is just a reminder for all of us how we can play our part. He wanted 100,000 men and women who are spirited with this idea, and they will go to each and every corner of this world to spread this message. Can we be one of them? Swami Vivekananda says that I am a voice without a form. Can the words that we speak, can that be the voice of Swami Vivekananda? Swami Vivekananda says that what I have done and said is enough for next 1500 years. I don't think any one of us is going to live as long as that one, but in our life, can we become the voice of Swami Vivekananda, that we can not only represent but embody the message of Swami Vivekananda. In the beginning of the year, many of us must have participated in the Sankalpa Divas, that what is the teaching of Swami Vivekananda that I am going to imbibe in my life? How I am going to make it part of my character? That is our challenge, and it is good to see that hundreds of people, thousands of people are taking to this message, taking up this challenge, and congratulations to all of you, because you are all part of that. And that is why it's a great occasion. Just wanted to share with all of you that we are not just alone here in Houston, but worldwide this activity is growing, is happening. This celebration is the beginning of this arousing of the Vivekananda spirit in the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vijay. Next, what we are going to have, I want everybody to pay close attention because there might be a quiz after this program. Yeah, so please watch out and pay close attention. Earlier today, we had a speech contest. So now it's time to announce the winners of this speech contest. Now you may ask me what quiz is going to be there in there. You might get asked names and then be given some gifts for it. Group 1 winners, I would like to request Saumitriji to give the awards for Group 1 winners. The third place was won by Govind Chadda. If you are here, please come quickly. You won the speech contest, you should run and enjoy. Come on, Govind. The second won by Anuj Jadu. Anuj. The first place was won by Adarsh Prahalla.